Hello and welcome to tonight's preview for Doncaster's card. It kicks off at 6:09 as ever on a Wednesday, and we kick off with an A2 contest and a pretty strong bet in the first race. Massive Ego in trap six. He's got a great makeup here, really good draw on the outside of next door neighbour Ballybunion Bill, who's an old stager, moving in, slow breaker, stays on, but Massive Ego's got a few gears, got a bit of early, and stays all right himself. I think the early lead is going to be Guitar Bob in trap four, but patently doesn't stay. Not quite the class, I don't think either. I think one of the main dangers could be Barnside Taylor in trap three, but normally an habitual slow breaker. And Molly's Mill in trap two is a smash breaker without a lot of speed, so I might just get in the way of Barnside Taylor. And Springwood Adele in track one won convincingly last time out, but is up in grade here. So I think that four will lead Guitar Bob, and I think six, Massive Ego, will turn second, blow him away down the back and lead around the last two bends and win quite convincingly. So quite a fairly strong bet. It was actually a bet that I had around about 9 to 4, 5 to 2, but he's contracted into about 13 to 8, and that's what I make him. So I'm just going to put a small stakes bet. But if he does drift, then just have that little bit more on the Massive Ego dog in the first. Moving on to the second race, an A1 grade event, this one. It's not the strongest A1 in the world by any means. And Blake's Raider is running particularly well in trap five. Got a bit of early, moving middle slightly, edging across more than diving across, and only just gets the trip, but probably got enough early to lead this race. Marie Poacher, his kennel mate in trap four, is just coming off after a break. Ran okay on his comeback effort last time out, missing it, flying up, but wobbling around the bend, and not the most straightforward character either. That I am really expecting five to clear for, and I think if five does lead the race, it probably will take a fair bit of stopping. A dog I do like is Footfield George. We've backed him quite a few times, but he has got a little bit of a thorn in his side in Sharp's Pretty Cat in trap two, just edge off a little bit, leaving the boxes. This will give Ballymac Bake some kind of squeeze up on the inside. I don't think she's quite firing. I know she's had her issues, but she is a bit of quality, and I think this is probably an easier assignment for her. Crying Old Kevin in trap six has got plenty to do. All in all, it was a tricky race to weigh up. I didn't think there was massive value in the prices, and so I passed the race by. In race three, the 6:43, this is a tricky enough race. I think Who's Alice probably is a worthy favourite. I don't think should be quite as short around about the 13 to 8 mark as she is. I didn't make anywhere near that. And Midas Lassie actually ran against Who's Alice last time out. And Midas Lassie has been only had a sort of handful of sprints, but had one four bend effort last time out. And I thought missed it and showed a little bit of early and tried to get inside the four dog here, Ferry Forth Eiley, who had broke quite well. So I think the best early out of those three is Midas Lassie. We still really don't know whether she stays or not. But I think at the price, and she was nibbled at, and again, it wasn't me, it was a 6 to 1 into 7 to 2 touch. But I ran about a 9 to 2 chance. I think just a small stakes on Midas Lassie to hopefully lead. Roy Roves in trap five is a slow breaker, moves middle, runs on far too late. Eden Honey's another one, stepping up in trip from 450s to 483. An interesting runner, but very inconsistent. But again, probably would be some kind of runner on the unexposed factor. Again, at prices, I just let that one go. I'm just going to have a small bet on Midas Lassie, a real tiny bet in trap two, and around about 9 to 2. In race four, we've got quite a strong bet here again. There you are now. Is 3 from 3 out of the last 3 efforts in A2 grade. Stays in the same company, and it's a really good makeup. Sharpies, Ting Tings in trap two will be kind of edging off a little bit from the blue box and is a slow breaker anyway. Got a bit of back straight pace maybe, but I think if There You Are Now gets the break that she's been getting lately, she'll lead, and I think she'll just win. Money Liam in trap three put up a better effort last time out when he was beaten by Racket or Sonic. That was one of our bets last week, and it gave us a bit of a scare going to the third bend. So I guess quite unexposed and open to a little bit of improvement. Travilla Storm probably is capable of winning a race like this, but the slow breaks and sometimes very slow breaks are really hampering his kind of strike rate more than anything else. And he did run against There You Are Now last time out. He's had a little bit of a break off actually. Whether that's going to fresh him up, but he's got to contend with getting around Moneygall Liam on his his inside, which isn't going to be easy. I thought like Aoife had it all to do. It was a big double digits for me. And Glen Anabambazo, again, is another dog that we've already beaten. So all in all, I thought it was a fairly straightforward bet. Again, took a slightly better price, and there you are now, it's probably on the mark. So it's just a kind of a smallish bet, really, because I think that she'll just win and a straightforward bet. Race 5, very, very tough race. I virtually had this 7-2 the field. Rosanda Best has probably got a squeeze on the outside just to sail round and keep going. Alien Mirage is running okay. Bashful Jess probably knows one way of winning, and that's smashing out and trying to get to the front. And even then, you never know. Parkgate Champ has got a little bit of early in trap 2. And Boss Girl is very, very hit and miss, but she's got a good makeup, really. If she gets a best break, she could get into the contest. All in all, really, I just didn't fancy 3 Fairy Hill Run. Thought I had a mammoth task, really. So, again, I just had that as a watching race. 7:36 is a B3 contest. Again, really, really tough. I've just sided with Magical Aussie as a selection. He's a dog I really like. Again, unexposed for Sean Parker. Whether he can clear Witch's Rory into the turn is another matter. Concatenation is easy for me to say, but in trap 4 will smash out and kind of move in a little bit as well. So he's going to have to get everything right, Magical Aussie. Dingy's Herb becoming a bit frustrating, not coming out of a box. 3 Insides had more races than, well, over 100 races, plenty of races. Rosie Star, trap 6, can smash and cut the bend. So all in all, thought it was a tough enough race. And again, no confidence there. Race 7, though, there is a confident selection here. Cathal's Icon continues to catch the eye, showing early zip. Has met Kid Not on his inside, who I think is the main danger, twice down and beat that rival. So I just thought that all things being equal, 2 would smash out, go to the front with the early pace and just about hang on. A bit runnable late, but I didn't really see who to particularly, other than maybe Swift Radar might be a big price at 6 or 7 to 1 if you would just want to get your money back with that one. Universal Queen's already held by Cathal's Icon on a couple of occasions, and Carney's Phoebe is a very, very slow breaker, and I can't see getting into the contest. So straightforward bet, Cathal's Icon in the 7th. Moving on to the sprints with 5 of them to round off the card. This is a weak D3 contest. I had no real strong opinion here. He's always short in track 1. He's not really a sprinter. He'll just mind himself at the rails and run on. I thought Kurt's Rush might be an interesting runner. I thought he ran all right in D4 grade, and he missed his kick, went up into this D3 last time out. And the other interesting runner has got to be worth a mention is Drum Crow Yank. Been off 3 months. Is he sound? Isn't he sound? Will he need the run? Don't know. But he has got a little bit of trapping ability and early pace, and Bungie hasn't. So he could get a run into the turn. But again, all in all, tough enough race. I passed it by. In race 9, a D3 grade event. I thought this was a wide open race, and I just thought at the prices, Ridgedale Tiny, I thought had a little bit of a drop in grade. Just had the one start and got really dragged back, and the race manager made Ridgedale Tiny re-qualify. I just thought that this was a bit of an easier assignment with Conan Dream, a very, very slow break, a bit of late EP, Midtown Faith on the outside in track 5, similar sort of credentials. Make My Day Punk's widest run at the track. He just minds himself, but he's only got the one pace. Interesting runner is Make It a Million up on the inside. Showed a little bit of early speed off a moderate break, but doesn't even seem to really stay that strongly either. And Ballygorsu is very, very hit and miss. Probably more of a D4 dog. But I say this is a very, very weak D3. I made it sort of 7-2 the field, but I did make one of the market leaders, Ridgedale Tiny. So 8 to 1, just had to have a little small stakes nibble. Race 10, decent sprint this one. It's a D2. Nice place, won quite well last time out, and I thought he could do the same here. Just had that little bit of a spell off as well, and I think he's fresh enough. I think he's just got half a class edge over these. Better to the bend than Ballymat Puddles, who's continuing to run well, to be fair. Crooks Hercules likewise. I think they're a similar sort of pace dog to the bend. Blast Off Mo is one of those on the inside, did us a favour at a massive price last week, but this is a much tougher assignment here with nice place, and even Vancouver Tanks are coming off a layoff. He's a B2 runner over the 450 metre trip, and he put in a pretty decent trial to get back onto the card. Whether he's quite a sprinter or not, and whether he can quite go with nice place, I wasn't so sure. Jim the Liar in trap 5, more of a smash breaker, and I didn't think he could clear this field. So at 5-2, small bet, nice play in race 10. Race 11 is another sprint. It's a D4 this time, very, very low grade event. I keep falling for Moss Millie, more of a place bitch than anything else. She's come second on plenty of occasions. She is a bit of a thinker, but she has got a plot up on the inside. Clara Bio has been on and off the card. She's 12 weeks out of season, so she might just improve a tad. Penny's Charisma, really, really bang out of form. Balligomir in 4, she's 12 weeks out of season as well. She's dropped a little bit, so she might just improve. Penny's Lynn, it might be the main danger to Moss Millie, a big price, more of a kind of smash breaker without a lot of pace and does move middle and cuts the bend. Eden Regal, again, another one. I keep taking this one on. I keep making him short, and I don't really know why, because Moss Millie keeps beating him. So I was caught with 1 and 5 there, but I haven't really got a bet in race 11. On to the last, Blast Off Millie in track 1. Nice type, this one. Probably doesn't win as many as she should because she's a misbreaker. She flies to the bend and she's a little bit chickadee on the bend, and she can look after herself somewhat. I think Jinxed is the main dog to go to the bend. I'm a bit worried about them doing each other, but at the prices 5-2 trap 1 and 7-2 trap 2, Jinxed, I made it a small play. Joey Ladd, she is all right in trap 3, but she's very, very hit and miss at the start. Kilgrady missed is an interesting runner coming back from opens at Crayford, but the last time this one ran here at Doncaster kind of eased into the bend a little bit. So there are question marks to answer for Kilgranny Misty. Canturk Sport and Burnfoot Tanger, I think, are outgraded on the outside. So that's the run through the card tonight. Let's have a quick look then at the tips, if I can get these up now, which I've just clicked the wrong button, which is a bit of a shame. I think what I'll do is I'll post them up on the bottom of this, and we've already explained the card. So we'll be back again at the weekend, and be lucky.